Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
Just giving you a minute so that everybody can get into the room. I always have this image of everybody rushing through the lecture doors at the back of the room, scrambling to get to their seats. We've got to make fun while we can. Morning, Theo. Always good to see you here. Nice to have some regulars online. Nice to have some people, nice to have some new faces too. Please feel free to say good morning and tell me where you are from and whether or not you've got good weather. I hope you're well. I hope you're healthy. Theo, I'm sure AAA will get back to you about the notes. Look at this. I've got everybody from around all corners of South Africa. Awesome. Okay, I'm from the Midlands and even Namibia. I'm from the KZN Midlands. So, hey, Russell, you're around the corner from me. So good to have you close by and far away. Isn't it amazing how we can meet like this and be from here, there, and everywhere? It's fantastic. Today's going to be a fun session. It's something a little bit different. Nice to see that you are all well, I hope. I heard that, I've seen the news reports that the third wave is starting. Not that any of us are really surprised about that. I think Easter is definitely going to bring the next challenge. Lots of Pretoria people. Good to see. Good to see some of my KZNers. And everybody's spread out wide and far. So I really do hope you are healthy. Usually say healthy, wealthy, and wise, but I don't know quite about those last two parts. We try to be a little bit wise, and we're working really hard to be wealthy, but we'll see. So today is a bit different. We're going to be talking about agriculture, farming. A Durbanite. Sorry, I'm just really enjoying to see where you're all from. So sitting quietly in my office here, I've got the most fantastic view. Green trees and being in the Midlands, I'm very blessed. But it's always good to feel part of the community and to know who the audience is, where all of you are based. Today, we are doing farming, so. A bit of not a topic that you normally teach, not a topic, I remember back when I was a student, many moons ago, a couple of decades ago, we actually did study farming as part of our syllabus. And then, the syllabus just got too heavy and too big and too broad. And then it got phased out as being specialist, which I always thought was a bit weird because a large part of us, or many practices, will deal with farming as clients. And it's not the... it has some quirks and we need to have a look at it. I do come with a disclaimer, as I always do, that I'm not a tax specialist. Okay, so we've got some tax in today's session and I'm not a tax specialist, but I do work with the tax specialist and we do what we call 360-degree training. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due and say the notes on tax are actually my tax partners, Carmen Westermeyer, who I work with very closely. When I do the MCLU, the monthly compliance and legislation update, you'll know that I make her tax newsletters available. And I'm actually going to be training agriculture with her on Thursday as an in-house training session for an organization. So I'll be back to visiting her on all of this again and having her take her section. But I've included her notes just for a matter of completeness because I was asked to talk a bit about it. And for you just to pull all the sections together in one place and have one set of notes that pretty much handles this entire section altogether. Okay. I have listened to her enough that I do feel competent and capable enough to run through these notes with you. Because, as I said, I think I've been taught by her numerous times on all of this. and just to guide you through the notes and to give you some highlights and some heads ups as to the issues that you need to pay attention to. But they also are there for you in a fairly complete framework for you to have a look at and to work through. There are quite a few extra interpretation notes and all the rest, which I will send through to Jeremiah. So we've got, as I said, so we'll be doing IFRS for SMEs, and some tax. The notes are pretty complete. As I said, I've got some additional tax interpretation work. What I'll do with that is I will submit it to Jeremiah, and I will, she can upload it onto your profiles, and all is good. Okay. Ken, you should be able to hear something. I just had a moment of a technical glitch, but I am back and all is good. Okay, so Ken, I hope you can hear something still. So with that, I'm just going to go through, because we've got a fair amount to cover in a fairly short amount of time. If you want to know the face behind the name, this is me. This is who I am. Looking far more zhuzh in my photo than I am at the moment. The joys of webinars is that you can sort of roll in and get behind your laptop and keep on going. Gents, ladies aren't always as fortunate as you are just to sort of shower and show up. But at least with webinars, we can hide behind the mic. I've actually just had new photos done, and I need to update them a little bit, but we are here. Okay. Okay, so today what we are doing is a vast range of topics. Okay. I'm going to use IAS 41, which is the full IFRS standard on agric. That's going to be my core base standard. And for the simple fact that really in this topic, IFRS for SMEs and full IFRS treat farming the same way, treat agriculture the same way. And IFRS for SMEs has a lot less guidance on it. It sort of has this assumed it's sort of like a subsection of inventory where it deals with biological assets, whereas IAS 41 gives us a lot more detail. We are going to be fair value accounting. So this is one section where you're encouraged to fair value account. You want to fair value account. Fair value accounting makes your life easier. So that is one of the thoughts and the processes here. Okay. And so we will touch on what this fair value measurement standard is about. Okay. And then I'll explain to you what IFRS for SMEs says about all of this. We'll talk a little bit about intangibles and government grants when it comes to farming. We can't ever do farming without looking at that. And just as a matter of discourse, as a matter of language, as financial accountants, we usually talk about agriculture. Okay, so when I'm in the IFRS frame of mind and the agricultural frame of mind, I will be talking about agriculture. When I'm in the tax frame of mind, I talk farming. Okay, not that there really is a difference between the two, other than to mentally distinguish between the accounting elements and the taxation thereof. Okay, so we've got this mental split, because there really is a very far-reaching and big distinction between the accounting version of this and the accounting version of this and the taxation version of this. Okay, so Carmen's notes are really around the tax and the diesel rebates. I will talk you through them, and we will manage them as best we can, and give you some insights and some thought process on all of this. Okay. Farming is one of those topics that the ideas and the thoughts are rather simplistic. The practicality of them is anything but. Okay. The practicality of farming and actually working with farming, as I'm sure you all know, that's why you're here, is not the easiest in the world. I found it quite interesting that 2 American presidents had these words when it came to farming, that John F. Kennedy saying, the farmer is the only man in our economy who buys everything at retail, sells everything at wholesale, and pays the freight both ways. Really something to ponder, and especially when you start looking at the costs and looking at how they work. I think we underestimate the value that farmers add. Also, I saw some lovely quotes about, to farmers to have hope and to really believe what, in the future. And I think that is very, very true. Farmers plant seeds with the hope that they will grow. And then Thomas Jefferson, agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. Okay, so I have a tremendous amount of respect for farmers. I have a tremendous amount of respect for those in that space. But having said that, in South Africa, one of our biggest challenges is that we do not have sophisticated farming systems. And most of our farmers, even our big farmers,
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.